Hello, I'm Amy Lewis, the Information Literacy Librarian at Northeast Lakeview College. Today we're going to break down MLA citations, what they are, how to use them, and how to make them. MLA is one of many citation styles. You've probably heard of APA and maybe Chicago or Turabian. A citation style is just a set of formal rules for documenting sources in scholarly papers. The goal of a citation style is for a smooth experience for your reader. They should be able to locate the elements of a citation quickly and not hunt around your paper for them. MLA itself stands for the Modern Language Association, which is a professional organization that has been around since 1883. The style, like we use it now, has been widely used since 1931. It's obviously changed over the years, and currently we're on the 9th edition. The goal is for your documentation to be complete and consistent. So why do we cite? First, to give credit to the original author or creator or researcher, whoever did that original work. And in doing this, we avoid plagiarism. We avoid taking credit for other people's work. That is super, super important. There are some severe consequences for plagiarism. But also, when we cite, it supports your arguments. And it makes you look really good. It tells your reader that you did all of this research and you put it together and thought it through, and here are your thoughts separate from other people's thoughts. So it really makes you look great. And it also, citations help your readers find your sources. So if I read a quote or a statistic that is really interesting to me in your paper, I can easily track down the original source and do some more reading on it. So when do we cite? You cite every time. Every time you use words, images, or ideas that are not your own. Always be citing. So this includes direct quotes, paraphrases, summaries, images, charts, social media posts, you name it. You can cite literally anything, and you should if it's not your own words and not your own ideas. And of course, we cite twice. We cite in the text of your paper where you use the information, or quote a source, and at the end of your paper in a list of the work cited. So we have the short form in the parentheses in your paper, and then at the end, the long form in the works cited page. And what this does is it creates a little map back to the original source. So I'm reading along, I see an internal citation, I flip to the end of the paper, follow that to the works cited section, find the author's name there and see the long form citation, and I can track down this exact edition of Jazz, which in this case is from 1992, and in that book on page 83 I should find whatever has been referenced in the paper. And it works exactly the same way for any digital resource. The URL is definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting there, but we need more than the URL there. I need to know the name of it. I need to know the author's name. So it's really important that we have a full citation for things, even when they're electronic sources. Just a URL is definitely not good enough, especially if that URL goes bad, if there's a broken link, if it gets typed in incorrectly, if something moves, I need to be able to track down that information in a different way. So I need all of the information from that citation. So how do you create a citation? Seems to be a lot of rules, a lot of commas, and a lot of italicizing of things. There definitely are specific ways to go about doing it, but we try to make it easy for you. And there are 3 big ways that people do create those citations. Would be through the citation button on a database, and by following the format on a citation guide, or by using Noodle tools. Citation buttons you will find on all of our databases at NLC. They are useful, but they are not always correct. Always double check what you get from the citation button. I point this out here. I've got an example. You'll see the author's name, James O. Farlow, but we know that MLA format should be last name, comma, first name, right? So I do have to fix that. I need to make it Farlow, comma, James O. before I turn in my paper, or it would be incorrect. So definitely check those against our citation guides. I'm going to show you where those are in a second. So useful, but beware. And here's the library's website. And most of the time you will be getting to all of our citation information from the LibGuides. There's a couple different ways to get there, but LibGuides is probably the number one way. And we have LibGuides for every single class that we teach at NLC. And every single one of these is going to have a section on citing. I'm going to go for English real quick. And the Cite Your Sources tab, again, it's going to be on every class that appears in our LibGuides. So we've got MLA box here and then an APA box. And our citation guide is going to be right here. And we've got information about citations. We've got books, articles, government docs, websites, media and images, and then some information about in-text citations. So we've got everything you need to make a citation. So you could actually create them yourself. You could go through here and fill in the blanks. You get the author, the first name, the last name, the first name, the title, the publisher, the year of publication, and create your own citation. Or maybe you're using the citation guide to just check what you've got from the citation button, which is totally fair as well. You want to make sure that everything is italicized that needs to be italicized, that the commas are in the right spots, and if nothing else, that the author's last name, comma, first name is in there correctly. So we've got lots of different examples to help you out to create those or to check the citations that you're working with. We also have a link to the Purdue OWL, which is another great place to get examples of what your citation should look like. They also go into formatting your paper, which is very helpful. Purdue OWL is a really great source that we have. And finally, we've got Noodle Tools. Right down here. Noodle Tools is totally free for NLC students. It is totally optional. And if you don't have an account, you can register for one right down there. I'm going to sign into my account. And I'm going to create a new project. Obviously, I've got a lot of projects on the go here. So let's call it MLA paper 1. First thing you need to do is to decide your citation style, which in our case is going to be MLA, and leave the citation level at advanced because we want all of the options. I'm going to hit submit, and that will create my paper for me. And what Noodle Tools is going to do is that it creates citations and it also creates works cited pages for me. I'm going to show you how that works. So you go up here to new source. And it asks you what kind of source are you looking at? Are you looking at a database, something from a website, something that you have in your hand, like a print book, something you viewed or heard live, maybe a lecture that you went to, a tour that you went on? I'm going to go for website because that is frequently what people are using Noodle Tools for, because websites tend not to have citation buttons. And there's lots of different options here for different things that you find on the web. I'm going to go for plain web page because, again, that's probably one of the #1 things that people are using Noodle Tools for. And I'm just going to make up a fake website here. Make that person, author, web page title. I'll just call it title. And you can see that it gives you little hints as you type along. So I was going to type in name of website, but it's reminding me that website should be capitalized in MLA. It's not an APA, so makes it very interesting. Don't need to add any other contributors. Basically, you put in as much information as you know. If you can't find some of this or you just don't need it. So for example, maybe there is just one contributor to the website. You don't have to put in an extra contributor because there isn't one. Maybe you have just the group, the organization that created it and not a person's name. You put in as much as you know, and then you hit save, and it's going to create a citation for you. And here is our little pretend citation in correct format. A pretend website, a correct format. So the other way that you can go about doing this, let's go to database, article, journal, is that you can copy and paste in a citation. So let's go up here and I'm going to paste in my citation that I had already copied earlier. So this can be something that you got from one of the citation buttons. It can be something that you created yourself using those citation guides. You can paste it right in and we can add it to our works cited. So it can be there with all the other citations, even if all the rest of them were created by Noodle Tools. Very important to know that when you paste something in, Noodle Tools does not double check it. So it's what it's reminding you here in this yellow box. It's saying, do not assume the citation is correct. Make sure your formatting is correct. Make sure everything is where it should be. Once you've double checked it, you've used those citation guides, you feel good about it, you hit save, and it will add it to your works cited page. So now I've got 2 citations in my paper. And let's say I'm ready to get my works cited page. I can go up here and I can export it into a variety of places. I'm going to go to Word. And there's my works cited page. So it's got my 2 citations in it. It's double spaced. It's putting the hanging indents, which I know can be a little bit tricky to do. And it's got the page numbers up in the header. So it's all formatted and ready for me to go. So that's what Noodle Tools can do. It can create citations and it can create works cited pages. So if you want to use it, Noodle Tools is there for you. It is totally up to you if you want to use that or not. So the citation button, the cite your sources in your LibGuide is definitely going to be the place to go to get those citation guides, to get Noodle Tools, to get oriented when it comes time to do the citations for your paper. You can always chat with the librarian. This little tab over on the side is going to appear on all the library pages online. And you can immediately be chatting with the librarian and ask any questions that you have about citations or research or anything else that you need help with.